All right, it's another Thursday night with Beyond the Pole and your host, Katrina Lee.
Hello. Thank you for listening to another show. I had the most insane week. Just absolutely insane, like all this chaos going on. And so did a lot of stuff in the adult industry. So Saturday night at 2 o'clock, the Classy Cat announced they were closing, unable to pay bills, and everyone lost their job. And it's been kind of scrambling to all the clubs, rotating around, heading out to Buffalo. And the Extremely Hot is stopping. So that's two major institutes in Rochester of the adult industry.
That's crazy.
Now, I know that he feels, the Classic Cat that's been there forever. And the thing is, in Rochester, you have to have a cabaret license. So if someone doesn't take it over in about a year, you can never put a strip club there again.
No.
Yeah, so they got to change it. It's the same with Mirage, all of them. They can't just open another one. It's not like Buffalo. It's a special thing they have in Monroe County.
It'll turn into a car lot.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they've been wanting it to be for years. No one wanted it there. It's always been a hassle, and it's like kind of it was the most clean, kind of lame club. I mean, you couldn't even touch guys with your boobs. You had to keep your top on. You're openly dancing in front of everyone, while all the other clubs kind of went in the more closed room, private direction.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, I always just been there forever, and great family staff. And the same with Extremely Hot, which actually years ago I thought about buying, but it didn't keep up with social media.
Wait, Extremely Hot's done?
Yeah, that's the last one. So they're not keeping it. I feel like a lot of the club owners, and I have heard over the years, didn't want to invest or advertise in it because they felt like social media was strong enough. So you don't see a lot of them that used to advertise. They cut back.
That's crazy. There's got to be a link
and not the head shops or anything. So I don't know the internet, but he didn't. He probably could have kept it longer if he created a social media package and then had a website and put all the clubs on it with link to the club's website. And if he, did something similar, talked to all the head shops, got him more involved with the girls.
Yeah.
I always used it. I like the magazine, and I know a lot of the girls read it when they're bored, but when you're not getting the ad money, then you don't know.
That's what funds the whole thing. And I had an idea for connecting those. We'll talk about some
Yeah, back in the day, you didn't really know about the other clubs, so I would look at it and be like, oh, let's try this one, and I'd bring my suitcase and try, but, they didn't have Facebook. Now you can just pop on social media.
That's pretty cool. Makes things easier.
So, I mean, kind of sad. A lot of institutions that have been around for over 20 years are all closing.
That is. It kind of does open the door for new stuff, though.
That is a good part.
Anytime with nightclubs and stuff, the shelf life, after a few years they close down, it opens the doors for new people to come in, new entrepreneurs, new businesses, and a different way to do things, which is also refreshing. It sucks to see some of those institutions close down, but it's nice to have new ones, the ability to open back up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Same. That's what I like to deal with. I like building businesses. I like fixing structures. I have a lot going on. It's really exciting. It's just so much is insane. But I bet, Oz, have you ever seen what the prostate simulator is?
I have never seen
Dawn
the
was talking about?
We're right into this today. That's how we're doing. Right? Fantastic. Yeah, I'm Oz. Hi, here's a prostate simulator.
So I actually brought one for him, and you just kind of shove it in and twist.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
It looks like brass
it
knuckles.
Vibrates.
That's a serious vibrator.
Yeah.
Well, get it with face. Good thing I have a...
That's what she was talking about last week. So I thought everyone would like to see it, pass it around. And we're going to use it on Oz later.
Fantastic.
So it'll be fun right on his video. But we're going to take eventually a quick little break, and we're going to call Dawn for our toy of the week and continue on with crazy talks about trannies and more.
Monkey pee. I got peed on by a monkey today.
Playing with monkeys before the show. So let's cut in a song break, and we'll have our toy of the week with Dawn and then talk about monkeys.
And now it's time to go back to Beyond the Pole, Katrina Lee.
Welcome back. We were going to have the toy review right now, but we're having some slight complications, so we're going to talk about something else. So I had the time of my life. I had a really awful week. Just insanity, and we'll talk about more later. We're going to talk about the good things. So I was like, I want to do something fun. So my friend owns a bunch of monkeys and exotic animals.
Sure does.
And I contacted some people. I said, let's go play with some monkeys. And we went and we played with monkeys at 6 o'clock.
Not just a monkey. There was an armadillo. There was a giant tortoise. There was alligators. There was cobras. A freaking
whole bunch of snakes. Baby bearded dragons that were born today. Rare stuff,
the crying fox.
It was amazing. It hissed. You can't get near it. You said it was a waste. It's like a $5,000 fox that just hisses and tries to bite you. Yeah, it was amazing. And I always wanted to hold a monkey.
Right.
And I went to Costa Rica and I was disappointed. I'm like, where's a tourist trap where you pay money and get a picture or something? They had nothing like that. And I only saw one at the very end in a tree. So this was like the time of my life, like a bucket list check off. And it's the same with Lisa. And she was having a really bad week. And my friend Lisa works at the Angry Goat bar, so I visit her over there a lot. And she's like, oh my God, it was amazing. And her kids were complaining. I know your son was jealous.
He was. Before I left the house, he's like, Dad, I hope the monkey poops on you. And then within like 5 minutes, I'm like, I feel something warm on my shoulder. I'm like, oh my God, I tell you, little fart box peed on me. Like, you were halfway right. He thought it was hysterical. I'm like, oh, monkey pee. Yeah, I have done worse for less, so I guess it wasn't
right.
that bad.
So you've been peed on by a monkey, and I've been peed on by a midget.
That
both with them. So
is remarkably even-ish.
Right?
I feel like you wanted that midget part right there.
Right, just threw it in. I was like, hey, we both been peed on something on. But yeah, it was incredible. So
Yeah,
it was we got a tour of the whole facility.
That place is humongous, man. Frank and those guys, they started with $200 in their basement. Now they have this huge factory warehouse. They got a clean room. It was gorgeous. They are doing their thing. I actually got the Bad Drip t-shirt on right now.
Right. They had the coolest bar set up with like all these crazy bears and collectibles and counts.
No, not literal bear.
No.
Okay, all right.
He's confused because all the animals.
Yeah. There was Pennywise a clown. My son's convinced that it's real Pennywise. I was like, look at who I met. He's like, oh my God, it's Pennywise. And I was like, sure is. I met him. Go clean your room.
Right, he's coming. But yeah, it was really wild. So we're gonna do some work with them and some filming for Life Without Shame. And we brought Tom Losey from the show. Yeah, and that was exciting.
He's always
he missed
the
monkeys, so he was disappointed. But still, it was a great time.
Time's furry enough for the monkeys.
Right,
he's got that.
And
back
he just
hair
missed it
thing.
by like 10 minutes. Someone took the monkeys to go to some kids' party.
Oh, so they do parties too?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's another investment business. He said there were kids' parties and they'd take these animals out. Some of the people who work there.
They do like a lot of nonprofit stuff. They used to own like some reptile place over in Henrietta, I think it was. So now they keep the reptiles in this warehouse with the Bad Drip guys, and they take them to like the museum and like different nonprofits and do cool things with the kids. Okay. Bad Drip, check them out. BadDripLabs.com. BadDripLabs.com. They're everywhere. They have a great line. They have two really talented artists working on all their designs, all their stuff. Frank's a great guy. Doug Sirachi, all those guys are awesome. BadDripLabs.com. Check them out.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. Like, it's something I always wanted to do, and it was incredible.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it.
And now you have to bring back your son because he's not going to let you live that down.
He's not. I asked Frank, like, can I bring him down? He's like, yeah, when you come by one of these Saturdays, bring the kids by. I was like, hell yeah, because Attila would go freaking nuts. There's a monkey running around him, you'd go crazy.
Right. Yeah. And just see the animals, like, and there's the same with my friend Lisa's daughter. She's in her mom's like, where are you? It's great.
So much fun, man. I appreciate you bringing me along for that one.
Yeah, I knew you'd like it. So we try to make it fun on the show and do different things. So great time. Definitely going to be back. And we got cool merchandise.
Yes, we do.
Cool shirt, pop-up things on the phone,
my car's covered in stickers.
Creepy clowns. Yeah. Good time. Yeah. Definitely will be back to play with the monkeys. Anytime I get stressed, I want to do that. So I ended up having my first full-blown anxiety attack in my life.
That's rough,
and it's terrifying. And I never had it. And I get why a lot of people addicted to heroin end up going back to it, because some of the effects I was having are what they deal with in withdrawal.
Really? It was
like
that
my
bad?
Skin was crawling, my heart was jumping on my chest. Like, it was just so much stuff that happened. So I ended up sitting there and trying to do my dad's like, do some mindfulness exercise, but you can't really relax. It was just hard.
Getting your mind to cooperate with your heart while it's going 45 million miles a minute is a whole different situation.
It was very hard.
That's
so,
scary.
and I was really hot and I didn't know what was going on. And I have a heart issue, mitral valve prolapse. So I was like, am I actually having a heart attack? I was like, what is happening? So I called some people. I'm like, oh my God, can you help me? And I definitely need to work on relaxing. So I feel better playing with the monkeys today. But what I did that was really stupid that I thought was a smart idea at first is I have all these business going on a lot. And I put these big sheets, and I have a big house, up and down the hallway with what I have to do. But they started adding more and more of them as I started structuring towards what I need to fix on the business. I thought I'd deviate them to people. But I turned into pacing slowly over a month and starting to wonder what was wrong with me. Like, I'm like, man, am I like bipolar or something? I never had this. It turned out it was anxiety that kicked up out of nowhere that I've never had. Like, I have social anxiety issues, but I kind of beat that. And it'd be like if all of a sudden everyone started laughing at me, I'm going to run out and I'm going to hide and I'm not going to have a normal reaction. I'm not going to have like a pass out, start sweating, crawling up the stairs, not able to see anything, can't feel my arms and legs.
That's crazy.
It lasted for like 5 hours from hell.
5 hours.
And it's only supposed to be 10 minutes and like 30 minutes recovery. Oh my God, it was horrible. And I'm like, I never, ever, ever want to feel like that. So I'm looking for, and we are looking on the show for a girl this time because we're trying to equal out some of our demographics. Younger, hopefully. Maybe a psychology, anything background, or you're still in school and you want to come on and create perverted mindfulness exercises.
So we're looking for somebody to come on.
Fun. Make mindfulness fun.
Mindful or perverted mindfulness.
So last week we colored in Thunder Aunt into color pages, and like coloring's supposed to be good. So I want to do maybe something like we eat chocolate penises and boobs, and we talk about how the chocolate tastes in our mouth. I mean, make it fun. Like, be creative. All of a sudden you play a special song and you walk us through how to like meditate.
I like
it. Make it a nice song like Calm Waves, not like dolphins screaming or something.
They got the seagulls.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, like, oh God, what is that?
Yeah, like make it smart, like relaxing. So we don't like that. So I learned a lot this week that people can be very sensitive that you're unprepared for. So I put up a post. I thought it was funny. It said, back in my day, blowing a tranny was blowing a tranny like a car. And it was so popular, it reached like 196,000 people on Facebook.
196,000
and ended up in Florida because I kept it public and everyone just kept sharing it as my post with my picture on. And this man decided to, I'm not sure because I didn't really want to deal with any of these, and he decided to tag his homosexual child or drag queen child like in confusion. So he was a guy turning a girl and tag it in him, and then they got in a huge fight, and then so she blamed the fight on me, and then I guess the father took away her kids. That's what she said in the text. There's no way, like, unless there's something wrong with you, like you're not feeding your kids, you're on drugs, like you're doing crazy mentally unstable stuff.
I feel like,
or maybe she went and tried to stab her father. I have no idea.
I feel like people like that, they're so upset with things that are going on in their life. They're looking for something to mirror that off into and blame you because you are more high profile. You're out there, and it's someone for them to deflect off their life onto yours.
Yeah, and I didn't know these people at all. So what happened is she was crazy and decided to take the picture of me in the post and put with my profile info all over these transgender groups of like, she hates trannies, go teach her a lesson. So I got over 100 hate messages threatening me and saying they're coming to get me, including that girl saying, you better hope I don't run into you. All in the past, like, 24 hours. I started 4th of July, like, after 12.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, what's going on is a post from June 24th, so it took a week to reach her.
If we can't laugh at ourselves and laugh at each other, how much fun can we possibly have having while we live? Like, it's not, you're so LGBT, like... Mm-hmm. Positive and for it, and like if you took 5 seconds to get to know you, it's like, oh, Katrina's cool with everybody.
Yeah,
right?
I really laid back with them. So it's so random. And I actually went to school for global gender studies. Back then it was women's studies, and UB switched it. So then they had to charge you extra for your new diploma.
Ooh,
that's
fancy.
what they did. Yeah, that's great. But so they did that and they changed it. And then I actually did my master's thesis on changing the body, hermaphrodites, transgenders before. It was like amazing that I'm being attacked when I'm.
So you've got a master's in this?
Yeah. Wow. In global gender studies with sex trafficking and everything. So that's why I was like, I can't believe this is what I'm being attacked on. And then I had social work, then I went for international business administration.
So talk about barking up the wrong tree.
I was like, and I didn't want to deal with it because they actually, in the studies, a lot of the stuff I wrote, they tend to have a lot of issues transgendered. And growing up, they don't feel like they relate to anyone. They feel lost in their bodies. A lot of them start using drugs and then all hormones and
that can't be an easy thing. Yeah, it's not fragile on your mindset. So you
probably were traumatized. Right. So it's like a challenge, just a little different.
Yeah, I understand. It's just they just totally up the wrong tree, though. You're so for that community.
It was just so odd. So all the trannies were threatening my life. But ironically, what was happening not even a whole week ago was we had the religious fanatic calling up and trying to get me banned, saying all the strippers are going to hell, should be in rehab, and getting those type of calls and all this police involvement, which was ridiculous. And then our producer has some crazy man saying he's in the parking lot going up. I mean, come on.
That's just
come on, people.
Well,
yeah, and we're gonna put on our toy review with Dawn. We just got a hold of her.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. Oh, she's not on yet. We're getting her there. Oh. But yeah, so then we got a crazy person there. I'm like, what is going on? Are we becoming so controversial? And I guess the other show has issues and we're getting threats. So now they always close the door so people can't come up. But I was like, all these drama are things that I actually didn't do, and it's got nothing to do with me. And it like barreled on to all these jobs I have. And then I had the Purge premiere, and that was amazing.
That is so dope. Well, how was that? Tell me about
that. That was incredible.
Premiere.
We'll wait because that's actually more of a story. So we're going to do the toy review, and then we'll go on a song break, and we'll start talking about the Purge.
All right.
Hi, Dawn. I don't think you're by the speaker. That's the earpiece. So we have Dawn from Foreplay Buzz, for the number, PLAY, buzz.com, and her company just went national.
Yep.
And it's going to be all over, and she's like one of the best. And she's having a huge sex toy party in Buffalo at 67 West coming up that we'll ask her about. But I'm looking forward to this. Technical difficulties. It's been one of those days.
I'm just watching them struggle videotaping. Oh, Dawn's on.
Oh,
okay.
Say something, Dawn.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hola.
How are you?
We had a fabulous time playing with monkeys.
We did.
I seen. Where did you get the monkeys?
My friend owns their private collection in his facility with alligators, armadillos, turtles, everything.
Oh, man, we got to go on a drinking trip there.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I advise against that for sure.
I love to spank some monkeys.
Right? Yeah, tons of them. And you can hold them. And he's like, anytime. I'm like, it was amazing. Your daughter would go nuts, too.
Oh, I would love to see that. I'm at Jam in the Valley with her, and if one more guy looks at her, I'm going to throat punch somebody. I would be in a jail cell tonight.
We got a lot of listeners there. You'll be in good company.
Right?
Oh, my God. She looks like a supermodel, but she's 17.
Dun,
So I
dun,
just keep
dun.
walking around going, underage, minor, stop looking.
You got to keep her away from town.
6-year-olds. Yeah,
Jeez.
good times. And then her boyfriend dumped her tonight, so she cried for 3 hours in my RV.
Poor thing.
Aw, poor girl.
You remember that age when you actually cared what a guy thought?
No, I never had that age. Oh.
Yeah, so I've been comforting her. I bought her fried dough and alcohol.
Fried dough and alcohol. That's a good mom right there.
That's good. So
she's going to college. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't drink in college ever.
All right, so this week's Toy of the Week is the Her Vibe. It is incredible. Do you remember like old school porn, the Hitachi one they used to plug in?
Yeah, that was great.
Now they came, yeah, it was huge. It was awful. This one fits in the palm of your hand, has 10 levels, waterproof, USB, and a warranty. It is the most amazing toy ever. It's a Hitachi one you put in your hand that doesn't have to be plugged in.
Oh, great.
Wow. That's fancy.
It's fun.
Is it like the silicone?
What?
Is it silicone?
Oh, it's more of like that high-tech material. They're trying to get away from like latex and like they're trying to go towards this material that almost feels like silk.
Okay.
It doesn't hold germs as long. It's more of a luxury material. So most of the toys I'm going with are not latex or like real sticky. It's more of the luxury material. It's like a silk.
Okay. So,
yeah, it's fun. I'll have to bring you one next time I come in. I hope to come in July.
Okay, perfect. We love that. We can go play with monkeys.
Party?
Yes, I am. So why don't you tell our listeners when it is in the info? I didn't remember offhand.
It is July 15th. I've got the entire bar. They're opening up for me at 67 West Street on Chippewa, or 67 West Bar on Chippewa, sorry. It's in Buffalo, and it's at 3 p.m. July 15th. It's going to be a hoot. I'm having tons of people. I got little people.
Yeah.
I love little people.
There we go.
You're going to get pissed on by a midget.
If I get peed on by a midget, I mean, I don't know if it would be horrible or like make my life complete. We got a monkey, then we get a midget, and it's all good.
Yeah, I got peed on by the monkey.
You actually have been peed on by a midget.
I have been peed on by a midget. So he's like, I got peed on by a monkey, and I'm like, I was peed on by a midget.
How is this common knowledge?
That is the best story ever.
Because I have the video clips.
I'd let her pee on me, too. That's awesome.
Here we go. Welcome to 106.3 FM, RochesterFreeRadio.com, and tonight we're going over golden showers.
Yes.
With little people and monkeys. Here we go.
Well,
Yes,
are
it
you
is.
actually at Jam in the Valley right now?
I'm here right now. Yeah, the stage is like, I don't know, 200 feet away.
Okay, wow. I'm surprised you're coming so clear and quiet. I'm amazed. No
Yeah, it's
background
pretty,
noise.
this band is awesome, but they're really, I don't know who he is. I think he's kind of like a no-name this year, but he'll be big next year. But it's fun.
I like that stuff. I remember when Montgomery Gentry was there years ago.
Oh, yeah, I love this country redneck stuff. It's all American. Everybody's super nice. And besides checking out my teenage daughter, it's good.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse as people drink. But
I know. Doesn't help. She looks like a supermodel, but.
Right.
All right, so yes, it's July 15th.
Thank you so much.
3 p.m. And my website is the number 4 PLAY Buzz. So I hope to be out there soon. And congratulations on everything you're doing. I'm following you too and cheering you on every step of the way.
Great. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank
Bye,
you.
Dawn.
We're proud of you too. Thank you. Bye,
We'll
Dawn.
have to get our parents together for drinks. They thought we were the biggest deadbeats in the world, and here we are taking America.
I know, right?
Thank you, Tom.
My parents are super Muslim. I don't think they'd be down for a drink.
No. That's all right.
They
Enjoy
would have
your
parked lot
night.
chastising
Enjoy
me.
the concert. I look forward to
Bye,
pictures.
guys. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Monkey's Anxiety. Where can you get it all? Right here, Beyond the Pole with Katrina Lee.
I know, my mic just ripped off.
She's a little tense. She just ripped it right off the handle. Jesus.
All right. Okay, never mind. We're just going to hold this stupid thing in my hand. So I was in the Purge, and I was Marissa Tomei's stand-in. I can't even get this mic out. Oh, my God. Never mind. I'll just hold it till we pause and get it off my hand or switch on another mic. But I was Marissa Tomei's stand-in in the Purge. And it was awesome and a great experience with Patch, and he's the main character also from The Purge. And we had the Buffalo premiere was on the 3rd.
That's so dope.
So it was pretty impressive. See, they're trying to fix my mic. But so yeah, it was there, and I went. So if you were in The Purge, you got to go in the first 3 rows, and then they gave everyone who was in it. You got hats.
Ooh, fancy.
You got hats, and then you got T-shirts and posters. So it was great, and it was a good time. And I got to see some of the people I was in the movie with, some of the extras.
That's
and
dope.
that was cool. So
I gotta get some Purge stuff for you to sign.
The Purge is wild. It is like intense. It's definitely more intense than any Purge ever. It's very controversial politically.
Really?
A lot.
It's the first one. It's got to be, especially like the time we're in right now. Like the Purge has got to be some.
There's some racial
craziness.
separation of impoverished people, so they're all kind of African American.
Oh, really?
On that section in the inner city projects all over Buffalo. So I'm like, oh, I know dancers who live there, And then I'm more the upper class who want the Purge because we want to save money on taxes, so we want to kill the people who are mooching off of us. So we're okay with it.
Oh, okay. What else can you tell us?
So there's
Can you
a
spoil
split. So
little
almost
bit?
all of us are white, and then no, these are all in the newspaper. So I'm not really spoiling. It's all stuff you can read on the reviews or see.
All right.
So yeah, the masks and everything are really intense and pretty terrifying.
Tell me you stole a mask.
I ended up having nightmares. No, because you had to go to an auction with the props after. So I got a couple of things towards scenes I was with. You could buy all the creepy mannequins you could have.
Cool.
Someone bought all of them. I don't know, me.
Who doesn't want mannequins? Though?
Maybe he was going to have people sign them and sell them on eBay. I don't know.
Who doesn't want a bunch of mannequins? Though?
Tom
We can always
where we were today.
mannequins.
Where
you
we
walk
were.
into your home terrified at all times is great.
Where we were with Frank, they would want a lot of creepy mannequins probably. They had
Probably
creepy
did.
clowns. They had everything. But yeah, no, it was a fascinating experience. She came up, Melissa Tremay, and greeted me every day.
That's really
by
cool.
my name, very polite, hugs, everything. She didn't eat with us, but Patch, the other character who plays, he did. So he's a main.
That's really cool
too. So and then I put congratulations to my friends on Facebook. I'm like, he was like a real person. He was great to work with. All stuff. He's like, thanks. It was wonderful meeting you, being with you. So
That's
it was a
awesome.
good
Oh,
experience.
that's nice.
And when I went, I got to see one of the guys from the camera crew who, when I was there, is talking about Life Without Shame and Beyond the Pole. And so he wanted to meet up with me sometime and talk about it.
That's dope.
Yeah, because we could get him to film and work on our show. A person who actually did The Purge.
That's
So-
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
Buffalo.
good connections.
Huge. So Buffalo's getting a whole bunch of movies, and we had a meeting with actors and actresses and a bunch of producers. So we need to start training people to take
For
over it because
sure.
there's not enough SAG.
That's really
Who can
good
get
to
the
hear.
jobs? That's why I'm getting so many jobs, because I'm like a perfect young mom, kind of rich white girl with blonde hair on a yacht. Like I'm fitting in this generic base.
The character
I don't
roles.
have all these tattoos, so I'm getting all these type of roles.
People assume that like to be an actor, like you got to be like an A-list actor. No, some of these character actors that do a certain type of fit, they get fantastic work, like constant work, and they're making great money. You look at people like Jeff Goldblum. He was at one time A-list, but he's got that neurotic personality where he plays a certain type of person, and that's his role. That's what he fits in. That's what he plays, and they make a fantastic living doing so. So character acting is a great way to go, especially if you're starting out. It's amazing.
Starting out, I like behind the scenes. So stand and then you watch and you learn, because I didn't go to acting classes. It's just kind of a fluke. So I get nervous about talking still. But I'm doing a TV show. It's called Captain Isotope, and I'm filming it this weekend.
So, Isotope, is that a chemistry show?
It's like a cheesy, like sci-fi show, and I'm like a pirate, a sexy pirate. I make out with this girl, and we're fighting over love, and I'm trying to challenge like the evil man pirate, the captain, for her.
You know, my New Year's resolution is to talk more like a pirate, and I haven't done it. I grew the beard, I wore the bandana, I just haven't been talking like a pirate as much as I wanted to.
Yeah,
you need more args.
So that's gonna be pretty fun. I'm doing that, and then I'm in Clover, Crown Vic. All these are being filmed in Buffalo. I did Mindhunter. I did a bunch. Coldbrook's gonna be coming out with William Fichtner.
That's dope.
So I did like after that 8 movies.
8 movies?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
all
wild.
in a row. Like maybe I worked on it a day or two, and I'm an extra. Get like $200, but who cares? It's the experience.
A day
For
or two
sure.
for $200. That's better than.
200 a day because I'm in the union. So then if they miss your lunch and it's 15 minutes late, then you get more money. If you bring your own clothes, wear it, you get more money.
That's awesome.
There's all these different stuff when you're in the union that they have to do. Like even like 24-hour type food craft cards, they call them, where you can go get snacks, anything, whenever you want. Like there's all this stuff.
That's awesome.
It's really good.
That's really
pretty
cool.
I only got one movie, but we're shooting a second one with Chris Cardwell called was the Car Lot. It's coming in August, so it's supposed to be like something like a Friday, like a funny like spoof. I played Detective Jack Me Goff.
Okay.
Jack me off.
Jack
There you
off is
go.
funny.
He caught it. Good job, Fred. A high five, intern. Atta boy.
That's great. I get it. That's good.
We've got an apology to do as well. Our intern was at a place in Buffalo, and he was not acting accordingly. He tried to steal a French fry off of the owner's plate.
Oh wow.
Okay, all right. Now I guess I'll just tell the whole
Go
story.
ahead.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
You know, it's the 4th of July, so of course I'm belligerent. It's like a requirement. So I go down to Mickey Rat's, which is actually in Angola. It's like off Lake Erie. So I'm at Mickey Rat's. And
I'm looking you like I'm
popping.
judging you the entire time. Just
Okay.
I'm judging you.
totally judging you.
So I'm
intern.
at Mickey Rat's. The fireworks are amazing. Everyone's on the beach. Everyone's having a good time. We love America. It's awesome.
Miracle.
So, you know, after a while, my friends, they're like, oh, we're going to go to a cabin. So they leave me. I'm like, all right, I'm with my other buddy. So I'm like, all right, let's go check out like this other bar. We go to this other bar. It's called Turtle Joe's. Now, we walk into Turtle Joe's. It's an older crowd. I mean, I'm a younger guy.
Yeah.
So I just immediately walk up to this table, and this table, like, all right, so there's like an employee standing there, so it's like a waitress, and then there's these two, like a couple that's just, they were staring at me, didn't even say anything. So the waitress, like, I start talking to her, and then, you know, I let her know I'm on the radio. She's like, oh, will you give us a sponsorship? And I was like, oh sure, like, you know, I'll give you guys a shout out, why not? And then so she starts bringing me food, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy right now.
Right?
He flexes his radio muscle. He's like, oh,
I was like,
I'm on the radio.
getting free food.
It works that way. Though. That's why I'm saying, you know, this free food in restaurants, you're like, talk about me on the radio, take a picture for Facebook. I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
So this plug turns into an apology, and how does that happen, Brandon?
So she comes back with like this bun. Just a bun, no hamburger, no nothing. It was just a bun. I'm like, wow, this is great. I start eating the bun, and she's like, I'm gonna go find more food because they were closed. Their like kitchen was closed by then. So I'm eating this bun, and then I look at the guy who's been staring at me this entire time. I'm like, you know, he doesn't touch those French fries. I think I should grab one. I've never seen someone get more angry. Oh my gosh. So I reach over, I pick it up, and he snaps. He grabs my arm. He's like, you don't grab another man's French fries. You don't do that. He's screaming at me. He's like, that's not something that you do. I'm like, all right. He's like, put it back. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it back. He's like, wait, don't put it back. I'm like, I'm putting it back. He's like, don't put it back. I put it back. So it's real intense. And then,
Over a French fry.
so of course I'm getting kicked out now. And, it's one of those situations where it's like, you're fired. No, I quit. So I was like, I'm walking out on my own accord. So I'm walking out, and then the waitress lady comes back with more food, and she's like, wait, is he not on the radio? My buddy's like, no, he is, just not for you guys. Walk out. We're sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. My radio station has nothing to do with this.
Okay, so what is the name of this place?
Turtle Joe's.
Turtle Joe's. We
Joe's.
apologize for
been
intern
there.
Brandon. Turtle Joe's.
The beach is actually really nice. I would suggest going.
No,
down
I
there.
like Mickey Reds. Actually, I was supposed to be at the DJ Polly event, and I drove down there because I had the tickets. I was supposed to meet someone I've been seeing, and he didn't answer me because he thought I wasn't supposedly there. As I was searching around after leaving Canandaigua, ready to murder him.
Oh.
And I calmed down, and I didn't even want to go in the first place because I'm like, everyone's be so drunk, it's so hot, they'd be so stupid,
Yeah.
and I just hate crowds like that, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there. And then I and then just baited me for 3 days.
Wow.
With some text, like, didn't tell me where he was or anything, messed the whole purge and say congratulations, then gets back like yesterday, he's like, congrats, and what are you doing?
Oh, and he already
To show
done
out,
messed up
like,
such an
sucking up.
important time for you. Now he's talking
It is
about
a bad thing. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
that's
like,
not cool, homeboy.
you don't provoke people like that, especially
No.
women who graduated from anger management in December.
Or one
I
that's
mean-
starting a serial killer museum, homeboy. Not the smartest move, bro.
Yeah, and it was all
No.
based this justification because he's like, I don't understand these stories you tell me. And I'm telling him the freaking truth because I'm trying to explain so he can support me and be there and understand that everything's blowing up in transition. So all these movies and stuff are coming out, and he's like, some stripper tells him I wasn't in the purge and it was a lie. And I'm like, and then he's like, I don't think you have this and that. I'm like, come to Rochester, you can see it all. Like, it's on Facebook, but he's on Facebook. But I didn't even feel like stressing out, like, because I'll never know what happens. I
Yeah.
don't want to know.
Don't
Yeah.
stress out.
I
You got
don't
enough
want
on
to
your
know.
plate.
I don't want to
Yeah,
know. I
it's
don't
not
need to deal
worth
with
it.
that. It was so ridiculous. I was just like, oh, I can't handle that because I will kill him. And, on the wrong day, I'm PMSing. I'm like boiling up on the beach looking for someone, and I probably walk up and he's like surrounded by girls or something like, ah.
It wouldn't be that something. You're featured in your own serial killer museum. Katrina Lee,
Right.
here's my
Right.
spot. She unveils the thing in handcuffs. And this is my museum. Hi, I'm over
Hi,
here.
here I am.
Good.
Here's a tour.
So Mama knew. She was right.
Yeah. So my mom probably should have chased him away, and everyone else warned me. So yeah, I was like, whoa, and I was trying to change. Like, okay, because my ex would do that, and he'd disappear, and he would try to blame me for something that I didn't do, and punish me. And he was like, he owned a strip club, so he had more access to girls than the average person. And he would actually be in like the Garden Place Hotel or something, and have like all these dancers
Fancy.
come in every hour and disappear on these like binges for 3 days. And I'd be with his son, and he'd be calling up like, I'll be home soon. And I wouldn't know where he was, and he knew I was trapped with his son, and I wouldn't leave him.
Dun,
And just
dun,
torment
dun,
me. Then he would
dun.
come back, be like, I'm sorry, let's go on a vacation. Oh, here's jewelry or something. I'm like,
How much jewelry did you end up with? I got
so yeah, all the Swarovski from the casino you could imagine.
Nice.
So finally I get
Good
there,
job,
and I'm
bud.
like, man, you did the same thing within a month?
Wow.
And I'm sure it wasn't that. And like, he's trying to say it wasn't. I was just like, wow, like, let's not do this.
No, that doesn't sound like fun.
Like, oh my God, yeah.
No.
I'm like, he really messed up because he lost like a lot that we all know is going to happen, that he's like in denial in his head because some dumb stripper.
What
who doesn't
bothers
know
me the
anything.
most is like that. That was an important time. Like that's a big thing for you. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's not
was.
something
Yeah.
small for somebody. And like if you're in a relationship, somebody you gotta appreciate like something that they're taking pride in. I put my hard work, my effort. I'm proud of this. This is something that I've done. I'm showcasing this, and you're not gonna be there for that. You're gonna make it not just not be there, but make it worse for that person.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not cool, man. Like,
Yeah, and like at least get if you can't do it because you have another obligation or something. But when they're literally crying and trying to prove to you in their purge, showing their screen like plays and
Right.
stuff, like that's crazy and for no reason. And I stressed out, and that's why I ended up in the anxiety attack. With all of it, it's a lot going on.
yeah, I can imagine.
So I'm
man.
getting a lot of staff, and I'm deviating tasks. And today I accomplished nothing, but I did it on purpose aside the show. I wanted to play with monkeys and not worry.
Yes, we did
That's
play with
what it
monkeys.
And I got finally caught up on sleep.
Good.
I ended up like crashing really sick last night at 10, and I woke up at 10.
Wow, that's a solid 12 hours.
Okay. 10 to 10.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. And I felt like I could still sleep. But I'm like, this is the first time I feel okay.
Well, good to have you
I
back,
was
Katrina.
like, yeah, in the past month. I'm like, oh. And then I realized it's anxiety. So I'm going to stop everyone for stressing me out because I'm pretty tolerant of stress and stupidity. that just got a little out of control.
Just look at our friend group. Of course, you got to be.
Right. And I told my friends, I'm like, you need to all tone it down because I got major things. So don't date this type of person. Stay on your meds. I had another friend who was sleeping in cars, in parking lots and stuff. And because she broke up with her boyfriend and ran off. I was like, you guys got to stop because I actually care about you guys and love you. And I sit there worrying. And I have bigger things to worry about.
One of the most important things I learned is you got to take care of you before you got to take care of anybody else. Because you can't help anybody else if you're going half empty.
Well, I didn't realize it was getting like that, and then it was like everyone at once
smashed it,
barreled,
right.
And then it just fueled it, and I ended up with like the most intense pain, scary moment of my life.
Ugh.
And I hope to never have one again because I don't have those issues. I was like, oh my God, I was like, I feel like I'm dying.
Like what was the symptoms? What happened during your panic attack? Was it your heart beating?
It was more anxiety attack. I think I'm not sure, but my heart started jumping through my chest, my fingers and toes and everything started tingling. Then I lost feeling completely. I started blacking out my eyes. I got really dizzy, and I had to crawl up the stairs. And then I just started dousing with sweat and started kind of panicking.
That's rough.
That sounds like a panic attack.
It went on for 5 hours. They say it's supposed to be 10 minutes when I looked online and you recover in 30, but I have a heart condition. I don't know if that's what jumped it up or it was just so intense. I couldn't stop, but I didn't have anxiety pills to stop it. My dad's like, put a bag over your head and practice mindfulness. I'm like, that's going to make me panic more.
Yeah,
that's what we want to see. We walk into the house, there's Katrina with a paper bag over her head. No, don't do that. Bad.
Yeah. And so I'm getting all these death threats and stuff from all these trannies. And there's all these fireworks that everyone's blowing off all around. So these loud popping noises come from everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my God. So, this is enough.
Hopefully we can get our buddy Sam down here. Sam said he would do security for us. Sam's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He's got like a big head tattoo. Sam's an awesome guy. So he said he'd be down here coming up next week and doing security. So
yeah, because it was getting a little crazy. I'm like, these aren't even my fault. These are other people's faults. Yeah. And I'm not going to die for that by some person hiding in a corner in this dark building that I'm unaware.
You gotta be able to laugh at stuff, man. That stuff is just you can't. You got to.
Roll with
sense
it.
of humor is important, right?
Like, just get on with it. But I finally went, and Dave's involved with this with me as part of Recovery Now New York, to one of the walk-in clinics. So they're opening all over the area in Rochester, and I went to the Gates one. It was in the town hall just to see what it was. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You walk in, there's a table, all different pamphlets. It's more laid back. I wasn't sure if you walk in, you talk to a counselor private, and I'd never been there. So there's people in the library talking, and I was like afraid to go up, and I was in the wrong room. So then I found it. So they have snacks on these pamphlets. I guess more laid back. You sit at a table, and then people ask you like about NA or different events.
That's pretty cool. So how many open door clinics within how long?
Why don't you tell me, Dave, what you have been doing that helped overwhelm all of us?
Okay, we have the Gates one, which is every Thursday.
Okay.
And in fact, tonight you were probably seeing. We have on the first and third Thursdays of each month we have a grief group specifically for family and loved ones that have lost somebody from an overdose. That we supply.
That makes a little more
professional
sense.
Counselors. We have that. That's in sort of a separate room.
That was probably the one in that library room.
Yeah, probably. And then we have different resources and stuff like that. But if somebody comes in, they're looking to get into treatment, chances are we're going to take them into that other room, just to keep the privacy. For them. Same thing with families, because when anybody walks into these things, they're a wreck. They're a nervous wreck.
Well, it's a very traumatizing experience. I expect that.
Yeah. But we have them in Gates, and then on the fourth Thursday of each month, we have it at Gates, and then Irondequoit also. And then let me see, on Tuesdays, on the first Tuesday of the month, we're actually going to be opening next month in Brockport at the college. It'll actually be at the Brockport Town Hall, but we're working with the college. And then the second is open right now. The third is East Rochester Fairport. And then the fourth Tuesday of each month, it is Webster, Penfield.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a lot going on, man. No wonder.
Yeah, with the bridge and all of it dumping on. With the bridge, you put it behind your ear and it stops opioid withdrawal, so you don't get sick. It stops the withdrawal, all of it, like
so it
sweating,
disrupts the signals,
anxiety.
right.
I felt like, man, if I had that bridge, I would have stuck it on myself last night. But the cool part is right now in University of Ohio. they're taking and they're doing a study with the bridge where people, when they're in comas and they come out of intensive care, they're in a lot of pain, so they use fentanyl. So and then they get addicted to fentanyl. So it takes almost 2 weeks to wean them out and get them out of the hospital.
Wow.
They're going to put the bridge on them and see what it does. 'Cause it's supposed to stop pain and stop the addiction. So you're going 5 days with the bridge and you're not using any fentanyl at all.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
So they're being trial tested. For
They're
people
doing it
that-
right now
that's
as
amazing.
we speak. In intensive care unit. So with fentanyl. So I have a friend who had traumatic brain injury and she's crying and alert. So I'm really trying to study this test and learn all about it because I want to be able to put it on her.
That's
And
awesome.
she's more in this one. The other ones that got approved by the FDA are for purposes more of withdrawal medicine.
They do though. I am finding, which I think this is going to be good for people wanting the bridge, is a lot of the insurance companies don't want to pay for the med detox right now.
Yeah.
So they are calling up every day, and there is a specific blood pressure, and if you hit that blood pressure, they release you immediately. Because the insurance company will not pay anymore.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then so
That's
the
crazy.
bridge becomes a money maker. It becomes approved because the hospitals will get people out quicker and make money,
Yep.
and it's not with the detox stuff because they feel they're losing money because they're not getting you on long-term meds and stuff like that.
That's amazing. That is such a cool product. So like it actually disrupts the signals of getting dope sick.
Yeah.
right.
That's so cool.
It stops it within 20 minutes.
Within
and there's
20
YouTube
minutes.
videos you can watch on
Wow.
it. If you put like bridge earpiece, it'll show up and they'll like 30, 40 different videos.
That's amazing.
And I share it on Katrina Leely, Leelee. It's got a picture of the bridge on it, and then use Narcan. There's a couple people who try to pretend to be me. It's not. There's only 2 pages that are mine, and I'm in a relationship with myself. So you can find the 2 that are linked to me. So it's pretty easy. But that's all recovery and different mindfulness stuff, and I keep it all public so anyone can see it.
That's dope.
So yeah, it's got all the info on the bridge and more information. So we obviously don't
doubt.
have any on the pain in the intensive care unit yet, but we will because I've been talking to these doctors every day as it's going on because I'm trying to get my friend involved with it in Skype. But she's in the hospital, so we got to approve it from the doctors or wait till she's transferred to nursing home. So it's been really intense while all this stuff's going on. And we're also doing the Evergreen Memorial Garden. We're painting rocks. And we're doing it for dancers who passed away with Beyond the Pole and putting that together. And there's like 30 to 50 girls.
That's a lot.
We just keep adding more and more.
Unfortunately, and it's a nice project too.
It's a big
really
project,
cool project.
though, for all those girls to be represented. So originally I wanted like a bench and throw all these plaques. But my mom said, why don't we just get a pole and like a flag pole and stick them on the pole?
You know,
And just make it
somebody's gonna
easier than painting these rocks.
There's going to be a memorial dance off on that pole. I just see it
And
happening.
that's fine. It's better. It's
Oh my
like
God.
patriotic or something. Just it seems like so much work to paint all these rocks. But I want everyone to start painting like hashtag I hate heroin and then put them in like a bin we're going to put in the garden. People can take them as like a souvenir, as a memory of it for at home. Or then to show their kids or something, you know.
That's cool.
We figure if we put those little rocks throughout the garden, people are just going to take them anyways.
Right.
So we might as well make it accessible to take them. So I want to do with our program, once it comes down, without opening 50 walk-in clinics in a charter school while building a medical company from the ground up, I would like to be able to go to schools and talk to kids in a certain guarded way about drugs. Because we have a whole generation dying from opioids, and we got a whole bunch of kids in the foster care. So we're also affecting younger kids in schools wondering what's going on.
I completely understand that people need to start talking about it, need to be exposed to it at an early age in a very guarded manner where you're not like
We're
tapping
not
into
scaring
their
them.
inner innocence. You're still leaving that intact, but you're still making them aware that there's an issue and a problem.
There's an issue
Oh, yeah.
because what's happening is a lot of kids are trying it at 10 years old and they're getting hooked. And then the
At
thing is,
10 years old,
10.
my foot will be so far in my kid's bottom. Oh my God.
yeah, and then it's terrible, and they're starting really young and trying it. And then what's also going on, and I was kind of disappointed this occurred, but I put about people should be aware that fentanyl can be in weed and that there's been issues coming up, and people are arguing about it, and they're trying to say, well, adult communities that sell weed know they're dealers and they wouldn't do that. Adults do. Where do you think your kids are getting weed for the first time?
Yeah.
Are you giving your kids the weed? Know where it's come from? You don't know. They could be getting it from inner city kid whose dad sells heroin on agenda to get these kids cooked. You don't know. That's why you need to tell your kids young because they don't know their dealer.
That's true.
So I just want to shoot this out. They released the numbers the day before 4th of July. The county did. For Monroe County, we have our numbers have gone up in the last 200% in the last 3 years. Our numbers have gone up. 200%. As of this year so far, we're at about 98.
98 overdoses.
Fatal overdoses. And I think 1,400 non-fatal, which means Narcan saved. So that was 1,400 lives saved. The interesting thing is since on January 25th, when the county executive announced their big 4-point plan for this and how it was going to save everything, they also said on January 25th they were starting a one-of-its-kind, state-of-the-art medical advisory panel for this entire thing. We asked today, because there's been 88 deaths since they said that on January 25th. And they said they haven't even put it together yet.
Wow.
It's so overwhelming, and there's so much going on. Like, even this, do you know when the sober charter school's coming?
As of right now, with the meetings that we have with the governor's office, we're looking at September of 2020.
So what's a sober charter school? What is this exactly? What does it mean?
Actually, it won't be a charter school. It'll actually be a regular.
I thought you said it was a charter.
Well, it was at one point. We were working on it being charter, but basically we've gotten into a partnership right now with the BOCES. But what it is right now, if you have a kid that's got a substance abuse problem, throughout high school, let's say, all that happens is they get taken out, they get put in a 15 average rehab, and then what happens? They send them right back to where they were. So the kid's got a 90% chance of relapse. 80% it'll happen in the first 30 daes, because you're just sending them right back into the fire, or her back into the fire. So our thing is to there's nothing better than one addict helping another. It works. That's what works, because we know what addicts go through. Yeah. So this would be a high school. They would still get their regular education. They would still get a regular New York State diploma. It would just be that this was more recovery oriented. It's and it really is. It's so hard to explain, but I mean, like the day, this day starts off. I mean, literally with everybody sort of like just sitting in the entire school, sitting around a huge circle and just going through how much clean time they had, or if something happened over the weekend, or if something, and it's just that support that is needed.
Almost like outpatient rehab.
Yeah, that's a great way to do things. A lot of these kids that are so young, they don't have a support system at home, and if they do, they usually aren't falling into drugs for a second time. It's nice to get them out there with a support system at school and at home if it's possible.
Right.
Yeah. Just to be able to talk about it to somebody who's like-minded and going through the same things as you, it's important. To have somebody that shares your problems, that shares your struggle, for somebody to be able to reciprocate that with you, it's fantastic. You can't buy that. You can't trade that for anything else. No. And I think it's an important part of recovery.
It really is. It's a huge part of it, and the support is needed. It's got to go around the country. I mean, when I started working this, there were 16, and right now there's 100 actually across the country. The average graduation rate is 77%, which, if you look at the Rochester School District, theirs is 36.
Wow, 36%. That's kind of embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
My kid went to city school for a year, and it was
crazy.
I mean, he learned how to pop lock, and he learned how to Dougie and a couple other things, and it was very interesting. When it comes to like recognizing people with problems, something really upset me. It happened a little while ago. We lost a Turkish girl to the heroin epidemic, and it was still the Turkish community here is pretty large, and they're still not recognizing it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody does anything about it. You don't see any of them volunteering. My name was in a bunch of mouths of people doing heroin, this and that it was possibly me that was doing this and doing that. But you look around now, and none of those people are doing anything to this day. The same ones that have my name in their mouth still are not in the community trying to make things better. So I challenge them to do something about things out here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we recognize that has been happening in various different cultures, and a lot of the cultures, just like probably half the residents here, they don't want to talk about it. They want to shove it under the rug. But here's the thing: is we're actually going out into these communities. We're going into churches and we're going into public libraries, and we're holding crisis forums. And I'm bringing along with me, the sheriff. I bring along a bunch of police chiefs. I bring along, experts and everything. And we do like an hour type forum, crisis forum, just to get people to start talking about it. And it's funny that you bring this up because we were just talking about the other day of needing to get into different cultures. Because it's happening there too.
It spreads fast. So once it starts getting into one or two people there, it's a bigger problem than what you're actually seeing. You're only going to see a tip of the iceberg. The rest, 90% of it, is under the water. You're not going to be able to see it till it's too late and people are falling off.
Yeah.
It's just so all those people that just the ones that spoke my name. Let's start off with those. Why don't you guys, the ones that spoke my name, get out there and do something and help these communities out, help your community out, so you can say my name now. Go do something about it.
Right, exactly, and that's what needs to happen. It's I mean, with these numbers coming out, they're scary numbers, man. And the thing that I said on the press the other day, and there's more stuff that I did a lengthy interview that they're doing on Monday because I asked some of the administration to step down just because somebody's got to be responsible for this blood, and it's the people that are not making these things happen. But the main thing is I mean, if we had the numbers coming out today that came out July 3rd, 98. If we had 98 people die from the flu, there would be MASH tents all over this town.
That is true.
There would be.
100% fact.
Yeah. And they would be doing everything possible to stop it. Everything. And that's what we run into. I mean, it's if we send somebody that's overdosed to an emergency room, they get they get released in 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours. Once they think that they're awake enough and they're okay, they usually within 2 hours they're released with nothing, not a thing. But if somebody goes in with chest pain, they're going to walk out with a treatment plan. If somebody walks up because they've been screwing up their diabetes, they're going to walk out with a treatment plan. Anything, you're going to walk out with a treatment plan. But, the hospitals, we can't even get past the once a junkie, always a junkie.
That is true. Katrina, you walked by me and it smelled like flowers and cupcakes.
I like perfume.
It is fantastic. It was just, I'm like, what is that smell? Oh, it must be Katrina. Yum.
No, that's me. I like body products. But let's cut in a song break and then return. We're in our final hour.
We'll be back.
And now back to the show with Katrina Lee.
Yes. Welcome back. It's Beyond the Pole. You can find us on Facebook, Beyond the Pole Radio. You can find us on YouTube, so subscribe. We are Beyond the Pole Radio with Katrina Lee. We're putting more on every week of the old ones, new ones, and you can replay it anywhere you want. If you missed the show, you can tune in and listen to us anywhere on the TuneIn app and put it in. What else? We're in the Armed Forces Network.
106.3 FM, RochesterFreeRadio.com. What's up? And I'm your boy Oz. How you doing here with Katrina Lee? Intern Brandon. What's going on? Katrina Lee's a pervert.
I am. I'm proud of it.
Humongous pervert.
I am, but I'm also domestic.
You're like a perverted.
So I'm like the type of girl who makes penis cookies at home.
Penis cookies?
Yeah, and decorate them and ice them or make everything perverted somehow. So, I mean, I gave...
You've never been to her house for Christmas, have you?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my. I mean, first of all, I got to say, the girl can cook. Okay, she can cook.
Just to let you know,
we got it down.
Christmas is a reason I dated white girls after the age of 16 because I had a very Muslim Christmas and childhood growing up. We didn't have one, aka. So white girls, that was how I got Christmas. It was like, oh look, I'm dating you. I get Christmas now. Yay!
Yeah.
First of all, you start off with you literally need 40 minutes to go through her entire house. Okay, because of Christmas. It's like the Christmas. What is that store? Christmas tree.
Yeah, the Christmas tree store. It's Hallmark store. Vomited all over my house.
Yeah, basically.
I put up 12 Christmas trees plus.
12 Christmas trees?
And then she walks you into the kitchen and the dining room, and it's just tables of food. Tables and tables. And it's like... There's 4 people there.
Sounds like he's complaining. I'll take his place if he's complaining.
I'm not complaining. The food was unbelievable.
Good.
And the decorations, I go wild. I've collected them, and I'm careful, so I put them all back in the Hallmark boxes, and I wrap them, and I put them in tubs. And now I'm at to having 60 Christmas tree tubs all labeled and ornaments all in the box, but they're all worth money. I'm a collector.
Like the shoe thing. Like if you take half as good a care of your like Christmas directions as your,
they're even more organized. So
Jesus, you'd like explode if you walked into my house and be like, oh my God,
yeah, well, that happens with my friends. I think they purposely do it knowing I'm OCD, and then I'll start neurotically cleaning, and they laugh at me, but they're like, oh yeah, come over, Katrina.
Come over. Here's some vodka and a broom.
Yeah, here you go. Or I like projects, like big ones, like tackling the refrigerator, pulling it all apart, cleaning it. Yeah, like.
You enjoy. I could see in your eyes that you enjoy this.
I like this stuff. It's relaxing. It's actually stuff I haven't been able to do, so I'm trying to just get back.
That's the most like trophy wife thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I like cleaning fridges and cooking awesome dinners and really decorating for Christmas. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
I know Halloween too. I love giving the candy to the kids, and I dress my dogs up in costumes, and and I don't have kids.
That's just so remarkable. This one time I wanted to play with puppies, and it was like right around Halloween time. So at the Back Nine Bar Girls over in Pittsford, I threw the puppy party or the puppy parade.
Oh, how fun.
And so like Kimberly and Beck was there, and there was like all these little dogs and animals dressed up in like costume and stuff, and I got to play with all these dogs and little animals dressed up. Yeah, just because I wanted to play with puppies and stuff. And so the owner was like, wait, you want to do a Halloween party for dogs? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, all right, we'll see how it goes. And it went great.
It went great, yeah. People are weird. They love this stuff. Like, my family goes to Knox Farms all the time in East Aurora. And then I went to a pet parade. I didn't go this year in Ellicottville. They usually have 4th of July weekend. And then you get little goats in it, too, and little farm animals, not just puppies, because it's more in the sticks.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, they cute little
goats
farm animals.
Awesome.
So I love goats. I used to have a pet goat, and it lived in the house.
Was it one of the little fainting ones? I got to give me one of those.
The little pygmy one. It didn't faint.
That's still pretty cute,
that would
though.
be weird.
Those fainting ones are awesome. I'd scare it to death. I wouldn't be able to help myself. Just,
right? Just like that
another
fox.
one.
We saw this baby fox, and it was like just hissing. I got pictures. I posted it public on my Facebook. It's like...
Yeah, I got a video of that thing just screaming. He was like, it was $5,000 worth of crying and hissing at you. Like, that's a horrible investment.
I'm like, whoa.
You know, in Rochester, they have the Fast and Furious.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think it's a 5K, but it's something K.
Yeah, they do the Fast and Furious. And you kind of, they had one over at... what is it? City Grill. They canceled it because they didn't have the pit bulls, and so people went all up in arms. And it's like, it's not their fault. These people are just trying to follow their insurance policy. Like, they love dogs. I know the owner loves dogs. Like, I love dogs.
I was excited. I shared it, and I was gonna go like, oh, it was like shortly after people freaked out because of the rules.
Right, people get so offended.
I wouldn't want my small dogs around big dogs that you don't know how they're gonna act.
You know, it's not the fact that they're dangerous animals. It's just if a Chihuahua bites you, you're gonna catch a hangnail. If a pit bull bites you, which is probably not going to bite you, but if it does, you're going to lose a finger, you're going to get a lot of stitches, and it's going to tear you up. You know, it's just the risk and the probability of things happening, the amount that it could happen. It's not saying people don't like pit bulls. People love pit bulls. It's just in the middle of the city of Rochester on East Avenue at a high-end bar, you probably don't want to have huge dogs. It's just common freaking sense, and all these people are tearing up the City Grill for no reason. Great place. Eat there, follow them, and calm down and laugh about some things sometimes. It's okay. Life's easy. Just smile some more. Well, it's not easy.
I like City Grill.
City Grill's dope, man.
I like it. It was my first time going there. No, the one in Victor. Is it the one in Victor? They have two of them. City Tavern, maybe it's in Victor.
I think that's
it's the same owner. No, I don't know. I've been to both, but
do you feel better after that, Oz? Because it feels like you're going to be able to sleep tonight.
Yo, you know what? It's been bothering me for a minute, man. People just need to smile more. Like, I've been making it a point, like, to just smile at random people. And I'm with my son. He's in the back seat. I'll just go by and wave at people. You know, for what reason? To make somebody else smile. Your life will go so much better if you have a happy mindset. And it makes other people around you happy. Brandon knows at work. I talk to everybody. I try to speak to every single person that walks in and make them smile just once. Just make somebody smile. It's a simple situation.
No, that's a complete fact. He's definitely a nice presence.
Well, that's good.
I'll say, like, and I wouldn't care if it was the most perfect woman in the world, and she had a pit bull or a Rottweiler, and she wanted me to move in. I'm not moving in because I am not going to live my life in fear.
Yeah,
that one day this thing just
train it, you know.
But you're afraid of pit bulls?
Yeah, man. Look at me, and a pit bull's looking at me, going, "Wow, look at that turkey! Time to eat."
It's actually kind of interesting because in the 1800s, pit bulls were referred to as the nanny dogs. It's just people took them and started breeding them to attack each other, and now everyone has like a negative stigma of them.
My son grew up around two pit bulls, and they were so protective of him. Anytime somebody would walk in the house, they would get into like a V formation in front of them, and nobody was allowed to go near my kid because of these two dogs. They were complete sweethearts. They were jerks to everybody else, but they were really nice to my kid.
I couldn't do it. My sister's got a German Shepherd that's 150 pounds.
Wow.
This thing's got more abs than you. I mean, because he runs 3 miles a day.
Yeah.
And this thing, he can be mean, man. When he wants to be mean, there's only like 4 people, and thank God I'm one of those 4 that he likes. But otherwise, you come in, you're done.
But a German Shepherd temperament and a Pit Bull temperament are different. German Shepherds are bigger jerks than Pit Bulls. Pit Bulls are sweethearts for the most freaking part. German Shepherds are jerks.
I got chased by a King Corso. It was going after my dog, so I had to pick up the 3, and I ran like so hard and got in, and it was jumping at the door, slamming itself on it. It was so
Corso?
It was huge.
Yeah, those
What
are
is that?
humongous. They're like panthers, dude. They're monster. It's like a Pit Bull bigger, like in their temperaments. They're like those guys
bad.
are jerks.
They like it turned out like, and I'm totally against like dogs being put down, but it killed 6 dogs in our neighborhood
Oh
of
my
neighbors, and they're all
God.
like Bijan's little dogs.
You better
and
put that
I'm
in the
so lucky
museum.
that I got my got my dogs out of there.
How to get away with the first kill if it kills somebody?
Because people were thinking it was coyotes in the back, and then they weren't sure, and then at first it was like no, so.
Then there's this panther dog.
Yeah.
running around.
Like
crazy.
Purge. It sounds like Purge,
Like-
except for dogs.
The puppy purge. That is the most horrible title ever on the planet. Good God.
Yeah, wait till you see it. It is intense, like, and it touches a lot on the opioid epidemic.
Really?
And everything current in politics. They pumped this movie out. It's got a lot to do with Trump and all this. Obviously, it's all Trump hated. Like, they hate Trump in this movie. Like, it's very obvious. Like, the scummy people all are like Trump. They have jokes he made thrown in there, like grab him by the issy.
That's crazy. Do you find it weird, like Kusmet, that the things that you are pushing in your life, like the bridge and then now the purge, how things are like connecting?
They are.
Like that.
It's all connecting in a weird way. It's like strippers to boxing and serial killers.
So
That's what my life turned into.
do you feel like that's fate? Like the plan that you're supposed to be, like coincidence? I don't think coincidences are supposed to happen. I feel like coincidence is when you're on the right path and things are like on the where you're supposed to be in that life. Like, oh, I just got deja vu. I'm supposed to be here right now. Do you feel like that's what's going on in your life?
Absolutely, because after everything I went through, and I mean going to jail for things I didn't do and being bounced around this drug court program, but it wasn't as DV court. Very similar though. I look back at it, and I graduated in December, and I think I went through all this hell so I could easily know all these people and get the bridge and the doors and start making a difference.
I think that's a great title for your book, though.
Right?
Oh my God, that is a great title. You should start writing immediately.
I'm gonna get there, but I have 5,000 other projects, Dave.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of the I heard a quote that
Brandon,
day.
get to work on the book.
Right?
Start
writing.
dictating, bro. Like, the quote was, God puts you together in front of the people that pulled you apart.
Okay.
I feel like that quote for me like held a lot of weight. It was one of those stupid like Facebook memes, but I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because I saw things happening in my life, like people that were pulling me apart, that were making it difficult for me to work, and my responsibility as a parent, all this other stuff. I saw myself being on the other end of the spectrum later on when they're looking at me envious because I'm putting myself together and I'm stronger because of stuff they put me through. So that one of those quotes, like,
That's how I feel. Like I became a better person because I lost everything and I had to push so hard that I pushed and just kind of skyrocketed. But actually, speaking of that, I read this interesting article on how to break up with a toxic friend.
Ooh.
So they say good friends are the cornerstone of well-being, while toxic ones can take a toll on our mental and physical health. If a friend is negative influence, doesn't wish you well, makes you feel weak or inadequate, or is untrustworthy, it might be time to remove that person from your life. But before you do, be sure that it's not a misunderstanding at the heart of the problem. Like you don't want to lose someone for no reason.
right.
Now, allow some distance before making any hasty decisions, unless the person has done something, outrageous. A gradual unraveling may be easier on everyone involved. Do your best to leave other friends out of it and not to incur your ex-girlfriend or ex-friend's wrath. Just be kind and minimize all hurt feelings so we can both move on. This was all about. Just do it polite. Keep your memories like they were
Right.
and just politely, because people outgrow each other.
And people, you're different every single day. People are like, oh, you've changed. Well, yeah, of course. If you don't change every single day, you're doing life wrong. You're supposed to learn and grow every moment you're alive. I can't be the same person I was, yesterday, no less the same person I was 10 years ago throwing club parties and being a promoter. It's a completely different person you're looking at now. Same with you. Completely different. Every single day you're growing into being a different person in hopefully a better way.
Oh, yeah. Like, I look back at even people I dated and I far, like, outgrew them surpassed where maybe at the time I felt they made sense, but I look back like, whoa, okay.
Right.
Or just you grow up a lot. Like, things that were okay at 21, when you're 25, you start looking like, then you hit like 30. And you're like, okay, time to grow up. Do I want to be that person? And then you hit 35 and then all your friends actually have kids because they want them. You know, they're not surprises. So it's like it changes.
Like when somebody says they're pregnant, you go, what are you going to do? They're like, what do you mean we planned for it, stupid? Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all structured. It's different. They're no longer having like first weddings and stag parties. They're having divorce parties.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Been there, done that. Got mine out the way nice and early. Thank God me and the baby mom are good friends now.
Yeah, otherwise it's a hassle. It's a nightmare. So I'm glad I don't have any kids with any of my exes because that would be a nightmare.
Dude, I call her up like, hey, I'm going to pick up the kid. She's like, great, I need him at this day. Okay, cool. You have him then? Great, fantastic.
Right.
It's just such an easy way to do things. Like, Dad, I'm going to spend the night. Cool, I want to go to my mom's. Great, sounds good.
Yeah, flexible, you know. I got a friend coming over at her house, so stay. Who cares? You know, if you work out like that, it's best.
It's so easy that way. It's so nice. And it allows both parents to concentrate what's important and be full-blown parents. Because when you're dealing with the drama and the stress of the other significant other that you used to be with, it takes a toll on you mentally. It takes a toll on you all the way around. And you can't be the parent that you're supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
It's difficult. So
no, I agree.
Just being cordial to each other and just letting people do what they want, what the kid wants, it makes being a dad so much easier. So please, if your baby dad's acting up, try to give him some slack. See if you guys can work together on something, man.
Yeah, don't hate. Don't post it all on Facebook, your drama back and forth. It only hurts the kids.
Right. Everybody messes up. Everybody deserves an opportunity to be a better parent and a better person. Even if you're not a parent, you got a significant other, give them a chance. Let them prove that they're growing and learning, because that's what life is about. It's about growing, learning, and being a better person than
unless they do something really bad, like abandon you at the Purge premiere.
Yeah, that's
maybe they're not a good person for a chance.
That shot was a swing, and we got the knockout punch. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Katrina's relationship is down for the count.
All right, so let's cut into a song break on that note, and you're ready to start wrapping up. Thank you for tuning in Beyond the Pole Radio.